that'll take us to our Pledge of Allegiance. I want to ask the young man in the front row, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Bippity bippity bop.
It's dangerous coming to council meetings with your dad, right?
Yeah, you don't want to sit in the front row
You
for
don't sit in
sure.
the front row. All right. We'll need to approve the agenda, but I need a motion to amend the agenda to add an item.
We need to approve it first?
No.
Oh, okay. Motion to amend the agenda and add an item?
Second.
All right. And a motion to,
Let's vote. All right.
all those in favor, go ahead. Come on. You got this.
Motion to add city
Y'all,
center,
y'all gonna have to work without me tonight.
motion to add city center presentation under announcements and presentations after Lifeline Animal Showcase.
All right, got a motion and a second to add the city center presentation under the announcements and presentations. All in favor? That is unanimous.
Third, motion to approve amended agenda.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, that'll take us down to our announcements and presentations this evening. And first up, as always, on our council nights, we have Lifeline Animal Showcase with us here tonight.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. And thank you for having Guppy. This is Guppy. She is a year and about 4 months, and she is the sweetest little thing. She loves other dogs, cats, kids. She is just down for whatever. She also loves the car. So if you're someone that loves to travel and go on trips, she is down to join you. She loves to stick her head out of the window, just like stereotypical what you would think of in a movie. But she is so sweet, and she's been in foster for about 3.5 months, about 4 months or so. And so she is just a great example of how people can help when they are unable to adopt. If you're not able to make that commitment to permanently housing an animal, you are more than welcome to help us by fostering. You can foster for 4 months. You can foster for 1 day. We have our Dog for the Day program where you can check a dog out like a library book. We're at DeKalb County Animal Services just down the road. So it's an easy little drive up there, and you can pick up a dog, tell them what you're going to do for the day, whether that's like a hike, and then we'll give you a more high energy dog, or if you're just going to chill on the couch, we'll give you more of a couch potato. And then there's also volunteering. We have tons of volunteer opportunities. If you're unable to foster or adopt, you can come in and do something as simple as helping with laundry or dishes if you're not one that's comfortable with animal handling, or of course you can help walk dogs, clean the cat area, get photos, write bios. There's tons of different ways to use everyone's skill set to help these animals. And I know one of the main things that we are very excited to be here for is to talk about our pet neighborhood. That is our additional housing project that's been underway for some time now, and we are so excited to let everyone know that we are doing a ribbon cutting for county officials tomorrow, where we will show off the space. This is about 120 spaces, and it's going to be prioritized for our court case dogs. So a court case dog is a dog that is live evidence in some type of case that is, in the process of in all of the court hearings and all of that. And so with those dogs, they tend to stay for an extended period of time than adoptable dogs, because they are not adoptable until that case is closed. And so that will really, really help with not increasing our capacity, but making our capacity more manageable. That we already have set our goal, which is 475. Currently, we have 485 in our shelter, so we are 10 over right now. We are open for another hour, so if you guys want to stop on by after this, you're welcome to come check us out, meet some of our dogs. We're open 7 days a week, but we are so excited about this pet neighborhood. We really think that it will truly help these dogs while they are in our shelter, because obviously we want them in homes, but until then, we are happy to take care of them and be that temporary home for them and give them all the love and care that we can. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for bringing Guppy out. And Guppy, I can relate. I like sticking my head out the window when I drive too. Might be why I'm sick. Yes, I know I'm tremendously excited for tomorrow and finally getting these overflow units open. It's been a long time in the making. I know council joins me in that excitement. We look forward to going over tomorrow and cutting a ribbon and getting these babies in some space, get them out of some crates and get them in some space. But if you are looking for a family member to add this Christmas season, this holiday season, go on over to Lifeline just up the street, find one, take it home, and make it part of your forever family.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. That takes us down to our City Center presentation.
Awesome. So 19 years ago, Gene Rice and I founded Vantage Partners with the purpose of building community through commercial real estate. For this project, we've partnered with Greystar. Based in Charleston, they are the largest owner of apartments in the world and have developed over $36 billion in projects in over 250 markets. Unlike a lot of other developers, Gene and I will only work on 2 or 3 projects at a time with the plan to own them long term. We also invest a significant amount of our own money into the deals, so we're fully vested in their success. A lot of people have asked me how we choose the projects that we undertake, and even though I believe the simple, honest answer is that God guides us, I feel like most people have a hard time digesting that. So I wrote down the following guiding principles that we try to live by in our developments. We must have the opportunity to create incredible public gathering spaces where people can come together to build community over food, drink, music, art, and experiences. We utilize classic architecture with quality materials that will endure 100+ years. But we realize that pretty architectures only accounts for about 30% of the overall equation for success. It's really about choosing the best-in-class operators that have a desire to be part of the fabric of the community, to constantly build it up. The other questions that we're constantly asking ourselves: are we spreading joy? Are we consistently being of service to others? Are we making decisions based off of a 30-year horizon and 30-year relationships with people? Are we being good stewards of the properties that we've been entrusted with? Are we recycling cash flows back into that community? Are we partnering and doing business with folks that have the right intentions and the same moral compass? On every project that we do, we have a cornerstone that we put in that simply reads, "Bless those who build community." 9 years ago, we had the opportunity to partner with the city of Duluth to develop a large portion of their historic downtown. Mayor Harris wrote us an endorsement letter, and I'd just like to read just a few sentences from her letter. To whom it may concern, for the last several years, the city of Duluth has had the opportunity to work with Vantage to design, plan, and implement a placemaking project in historic downtown Duluth. We have Chris and Jean to thank for our accomplishments and successes. There's no doubt that the success and public awareness of Parsons Alley has stimulated new growth and redevelopment in Duluth. The city now has over 1,500 housing options that are within walking distance to Parsons Alley because people want to be in this authentic and vibrant atmosphere. Gene and Chris were the coaches that we needed as their creative minds empowered us to be bold and take the leap. These two really listened to our ideas and then supported us by expanding our vision to include many more attributes and qualities. Their attention to details is key in setting Parsons Alley apart from similar projects. These guys were also very particular about the combination of appropriate tenants within each space to balance the experience for the customers. After years of working together, we came to trust Chris and Gene with many of our questions as we worked through the development of our entire downtown. I'm a big fan of Chris and Gene, and I hope this letter of accolades will help you realize their integrity, skills, connections, and knowledge of new development and redevelopment will be unsurpassed. Sincerely, Mayor Nancy Harris. So now Gene and I, we've been looking in Chamblee for 10 years to try and find something that we could really get excited about and work on, but it just has never come across our desk. And until now, this is such a fantastic property. I mean, this is ground zero for creating an amazing, vibrant city center. When we first sat down to start planning this out, we wanted to start with an amazing public park as the centerpiece, with creative, playful landscaping that makes you want to grab a blanket and lay it out for a picnic. Listen to some music while the kids run around and play on the big boulders and the grassy hillsides. We even have a few slides built into the hillside that go down to the main area. We have a small permanent stage built for acoustical music performances. This area will always remain the property of the city of Chamblee, so it will never be developed. Fronting the park, we wanted to build 4 freestanding retail and restaurant buildings with huge patios and rooftop decks. We want to curate them with an amazing mix of local operators, all best in class, but serving lots of different price points. This project will create a lot of new sidewalk connections, as well as connection to the rail trail. We were also able to save a number of amazing mature trees right behind the Contrast Brewery, and it's probably my favorite part of the project. I can't tell you how many times I've just pulled my car in there and just sat and just thought about how it feels. Even before this meeting, Chance and I just pulled in there and we just talked about it, and just it has such an amazing feel to it. I do want to stress how incredibly complex this project is. Just think, all 4 sides are public-facing, very public-facing, which means we have to be meticulous with the planning and the execution of our architecture and construction. This is where we're very, very fortunate to be partnered with Greystar. They have such a deep track record of tackling these complicated projects. I'll have to say that when we get this right, and your city's downtown is constantly vibrant and amazing, you're going to quickly see the excitement and the energy spread to the surrounding blocks. I just want to say one more time that we really appreciate your trust in us, and we hope to have your vote tonight. Thank you.
I don't really have any much more to add on the Greystar side. But yeah, Chris laid it out perfectly. We're honored to be back in front of you all tonight. Very excited about this opportunity. To keep it brief, the overall development, it's right around 7 acres. The multifamily component will be 340 units, and there will be 4 retail buildings that total around just under 30,000 square feet. But happy to answer any questions that you guys have. But again, thank you guys for working with us over the past month to get the items that really need to get right. So just thank you guys for being willing to sit down and steer us in the right direction, and happy to answer any questions.
That I'll open it up. Were there any questions from council on this item?
How many public parking spots were going to be added through this?
160 public parking spaces.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that wasn't said. I want to make sure that got out there.
He knew the answer to it.
I was actually asked that question 20 minutes ago, so
So
that's,
160 in the deck alone, not including the spaces around the project, which
right. Because I was on the selection committee, for selecting among the 12 applicants for this project, and, so, there's a reason why you guys are here tonight. I mean, it was very obvious pretty early on to me, and thank you. And also, I love the holiday-themed switcheroo on the town center design there. That's great.
You know what that reminds me of? When we first met, I said we have a vision of a European city center. And if that doesn't capture it, I don't know what does. That took me right back to Europe.
Are we getting ice skating?
Oh, yeah.
In the summer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
That'll take us down to old business this evening. We have 4 sets of minutes on the agenda for approval.
Motion to adopt the minutes from City Council Budget Workshop on November 6, 2025, City Council Public Hearing Work Session on November 13, 2025, the City Council Public Hearing, Work Session, Executive Session on November 13, 2025, and the City Council Regular Meeting on November 18, 2025.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes of the 4 sets that are on the agenda this evening. Any further discussion on that item? All in favor? That is unanimous. Under staff action items this evening, first up, we have the 2026 budget resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2026 budget resolution as submitted.
Second.
A motion and a second to adopt the resolution as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor? That is unanimous. We have the 2026 fee schedule.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like a motion to adopt the resolution to establish the 2026 fee schedule as submitted.
Second.
A motion and a second to adopt the resolution to establish the 2026 fee schedule as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor? That is unanimous. The Sexton Woods Raised Crosswalk.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize Gracie Gray Contractors to install the Sexton Woods Raised Crosswalk at a cost not to exceed $39,283.10.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to authorize Gracie Gray to install the Sexton Woods Crosswalk at an amount not to exceed $39,283.10. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? That is unanimous.
Punting.
All right, this is for the purchase of the easement of Nancy Creek West Trail.
Mr. Mayor. Go ahead. Oh, after
It's
you,
a
sir.
trail thing. It's for you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize you to execute closing documents for the purchase of a permanent easement to construct the Nancy Creek West Trail from Chamblee First United Methodist Church for a cost not exceeding $760,000.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute the closing documents on the permanent easement for Chamblee First United Methodist at a cost not to exceed $760,000. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? That is unanimous. 3641 Pierce Drive.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the variance request with the following conditions. 1, the development should be constructed in substantial conformity with the site plan dated received by the Planning and Development Department on November 17th, 2025. 2, 2, the applicant shall provide confirmation that they have obtained permission to utilize the neighboring driveway for access to and servicing of the dumpster.
Second.
All right, this is a motion and a second to approve the variance request with the conditions as stated by Councilmember Vythe. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. 3645 Chamblee Dunwoody Road.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the variance request with the following conditions. 1, the development should be constructed in substantial conformity with the site plan dated received by the Planning and Development Department on September 8th, 2025. 2, the enclosure shall be constructed of brick or masonry materials that are similar to and/or complementary with the existing primary structure. 3, the dumpster pad will be constructed in such a way that the dumpster will rest on a level surface.
Second.
All right, this is a motion and a second to approve the variance request with the conditions as stated by Councilmember Vythe. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. Takes us down to 3525 Broad Street.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the development of community impact and to approve variances 2 through 57, variances 59 through 62, denial of variances 1 and 58, approval of waivers 1 through 10 and 12, and denial of waiver 11 with the following conditions. 1, the development shall be constructed in substantial conformity with the site plan and elevations dated received by the Planning and Development Department September 29th, 2025, and October 14, 2025, with revisions required by conditions of approval as reviewed and approved by the Planning and Development Director. 2, the applicant shall utilize a brick pattern which may include, but is not limited to, variations in color, texture, brick projection, or a combination of the latter to reduce the appearance of the blank wall on Building 400. 3, prior to issuance of the certificate of occupancy, a servicing plan for the commercial dumpsters for Building 2 shall be provided to demonstrate that loading activities will not excessively hinder or obstruct the free movement of vehicles and pedestrians over a street. 4, a minimum of 41% of the surface parking structure shall be treated with a product that meets or exceeds a solar reflective index value of 29 when properly installed. Ownership shall maintain this coating in perpetuity. 5, the open-air roof terraces and covered roof patios in buildings 100, 200, and 300 shall not require heat-reflective roofing material and shall maintain the proposed configuration as shown on the site plan and elevations dated received by the Planning and Development Department September 29, 2025, and October 14, 2025. Heat-reflective materials meeting the requirements of the UDO shall be installed on the remaining roof surfaces of buildings 100 and 200. 6, Ingersoll-Rand Drive shall be used as the primary means of vehicular egress from the parking deck. The Planning and Development Director shall be empowered to determine the extent to which compliance with this condition is possible and may approve the final plans based on those findings.
Second.
This is a motion to approve in part and deny in part with conditions as stated by Councilmember Vythe. A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this item?
I just want to ask the people that have been here for a while, how long has this been in the making? Because I sat 4 years ago, and we had the idea of a plan, and we're finally voting on the plan. So how long have we been talking about City Center?
About that
That piece of property?
12 years.
12 years.
Well, yep,
And we're getting to the end here.
and we finally are getting something that is worth.
And it's gotten better every time, too.
It has gotten better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've taken the time to measure twice and cut once.
Let's pat ourselves on the back because
I think we
know
measured
that.
like 6 times.
So, yeah, I was just using the idiom there, but it's been a long journey. I've been able to play a little part of it, but I want to thank those that came before us and the ones that are on the council now for getting us here, because this is going to be a transformational project for downtown, building on the last 20 years of our overnight success.
Well said. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? All right, that is unanimous. Felt good, didn't it?
Seems like the meeting should be over.
Let's go home.
If only, if only.
All right, that brings us down to 4847 Peachtree Road.
Mr. Mayor,
Motion.
oh, sorry, ma'am.
The motion to approve the variance request for a, installation of a roof sign on a commercial property.
Second.
This is a motion and a second to approve the request as submitted. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? That is unanimous. 1974 and 1980 Fifth Street.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve variances 1, 2, and 4, waiver 1 and 2, and to deny variance 3 with the following conditions. 1, the development should be constructed in substantial conformity with the site plan dated received by the Planning and Development Department on October 29, 2025, with revisions required by conditions of approval as reviewed and approved by the Planning and Development Director. 2, the applicant shall provide a pedestrian walkway from the terminus of the surface parking lot near the eastern and western property lines that connect to the front yard entryway of 1974 and 1980 Fifth Street. If conflicts arise with boundary trees, applicant shall work with the city arborist and the Planning and Development Director to resolve these issues. 3, the applicant shall provide a pedestrian crosswalk no less than 5 feet in width in the proposed drive aisle between 1974 Fifth Street and 1980 Fifth Street. The crosswalk shall be made of materials including but not limited to thermoplastic striping, pavers, brick, or other materials approved by the city engineer and Planning and Development Director. 4, if required by DeKalb County for their review of the proposed work, the parcels shall be combined prior to the issuance of a land disturbance permit. 5, all conditions of approval from PZ 2020-649 for 1980 and 1982 Fifth Street shall be null and void.
Second.
All right, this is a motion and a second to approve in part and deny in part with conditions as stated by Councilmember Vythe. Any further discussion on this item?
Yeah,
Paul?
what was you said denial of variances 3, 4, and waiver 2?
No, sir.
I got lost in all
Sorry,
the
it's
numbers.
approving variances 1, 2, and 4, and waivers 1 and 2, denying variance 3.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Is that clear?
Any further discussion? All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, that takes us down to 4900 Peachtree Road.
Motion to defer this item to the January 2026 meeting cycle.
Second.
A motion and a second to defer this item to the January 2026 meeting cycle. Any further discussion?
I just want to say we got the drawing that was submitted by the applicant. It's pretty late in the process, but it did seem to check most of the boxes that we asked for, but we just needed a little time to digest it, and that's the primary reason for, at least my primary reason, I guess I should say.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor? That is unanimous. We have the Jacobs Call Center Agreement Amendment.
Motion to authorize the mayor to sign the Jacobs Call Center Agreement Amendment for a cost not to exceed $15,946.16.
Second.
So a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to sign the call center agreement in an amount not to exceed $15,946.16. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right. No mayor and council items this evening that I see. So that'll take us down to public comments. The mayor is the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the city council as a body, not to individual members. Anyone wishing to speak shall come to the microphone. Give your name and address to the city clerk. Limit remarks to 3 minutes unless further time is granted by council. Not speak a second time until everyone wishing to speak has spoken once. No one can speak more than twice. Please do not speak unless you have the microphone and have been recognized. And with that, I'll open the floor up for public comment. Anyone wishing to address council this evening? Anybody? All right. Do we have executive session? Oh,
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session for matters related to personnel, real estate, and potential litigation.
Second.
all right, motion and a second to enter executive session. All in favor? All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. came last week too. I was like, okay, yeah. I didn't do anything. I was just like, go Jones, do great, and they were great. So yeah, you guys are awesome. I know. That's one of the reasons I was like, well, I gotta go because they can't be here. So I was like, I don't know what I would have done. I was like, I'm just sitting next to John and going,
Y'all have happy holidays.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to exit executive session.
Second.
Motion and a second to exit executive session. All in favor? That is unanimous.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? That is
Get that?
unanimous.